Oh, you're right. Oh, yep, I said that too. Oh, look at this. Well, high time served. High time served. I guess you said I came on your live. You gonna come on mine.
Come down, Miss Garza. All right, counsel, what's going on here?
Judge, we were close to getting a plea done, but after speaking to my client, I think we need to set it for trial. And I will also be filing a motion to have her shrunk.
No, I don't think so. I said I would take the 14 babies. I told you that,
Right.
David.
And you also said that
And
you're
besides,
innocent.
they falsely arrested me because I wasn't in the system, ma'am.
Okay,
And then when
okay,
I
so
came
Miss,
December 19,
Mhm.
you weren't here. And then they were gonna log me in. They said, give me your social. I don't know what they asked me for, the social or the SIT number. And they logged me in. And otherwise, I wouldn't have been in the system. You know what I'm saying? When I came December 19, which was my birthday, Bethlehem's Day. And then January 18th, I came a day early to come speak with you.
Mhm.
Me thinking that I can come alone, right? But somebody told me I'm my own attorney. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And so I figured, you know what, I'm gonna get up and go speak to my judge and see if we can work something out, because I wanted to speak to you and tell you that they had falsely arrested me. The reason they were looking for me was because I wasn't in the system, and I am
My
the system.
advice is if you stop talking.
No,
It's up to you.
no,
but my
no,
advice
no.
is if you stop
What's
talking.
not being said is the stupid conspiracy, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so anyhow, so look, I'm a runaway. I've been a runaway since I was right? That's my story.
Okay,
And you know, I'm very spiritual. And I lost my apartment because my spirit told me, you know what, Father, you were never to pay anything in life, period, right?
Mhm.
So I stopped paying for 2 months and they kicked me out. I was living at at 307 West Marshall.
Okay.
On Marshall Street.
All right.
And I was gonna ask you if you can help me out with the voucher. I mean, because you're a judge, I'm a judge too, right?
yes. All right, so Miss Garza, let me do this for you, okay?
Uh-huh.
Because I want to make sure that everyone has everything that they need. I mean, you think that's fair, right?
I'm innocent.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. So I want to make sure that everyone has all the information that they need so we can proceed appropriately. You understand? All right, so let me explain to you this way. I want everything to be fair for you, okay? All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask them, usually it takes a long time for a person to see a doctor. I'm going to ask that you see a doctor quickly. I'm going to have them expedited. I'm going to have your attorney and I'll have the state and I'll be on the phone call too to have them call a doctor to speak with you. And I will have them speak to you no later than the week of April 3rd. So I will call them and ask them to expedite that. And then after they've spoken to you, if you still wish to proceed with a jury trial, or if you wish to proceed with a plea, we can do that at that time. But I don't want to accept a plea not knowing.
There's no need for trial.
Okay. All right. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to have you
Psychiatrist, you mean psychiatrist
Yes.
or a specialist?
yes,
Specialist?
yes. And so I'm going to have you brought back. I'm going to set you for April 10th.
Actually,
we'll
Judge,
probably-
I will not be here April 10th,
Okay. When will you be here?
the 11th or the 12th.
Okay. So Ms. Garza, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to set you for April 11th. But if I can bring you back sooner than April 11th, I will. Okay. But I want to make sure it's in the system so I won't lose where you are. Okay.
Okay, may I say, does that mean I get to get out and what is it called? What's that word y'all use here in the world? It's a challenge
Okay.
for me to come and show up like
Yes.
the responsible woman that I am.
Okay. So, well, let's do this. I like to take things one step at a time because that makes it easier for me. So the first thing that's going to be done is with the state and your attorney and myself. I'm going to make sure I call a doctor because they're very busy, but I'm going to make sure that I call them and see if they can see you the week of April 3rd. Then we will come back no later than April 11th to find out what they say and perhaps resolve your case. Okay?
Okay, if this fellow's a state, what I want him to know right now in front of all of us
Mhm.
is that every time I go to a store, I'm abandoned from all the stores that I go to where I live on 2919 West Martin in Zarzamora, because I go up to a cashier and it opens. I got criminal trespassing at HEB right there on Rosario because I stepped up to the cashier and
Mhm.
I opened all the cashiers.
All right. So this is what we'll do about that.
And
Ms.
then what happens, banks cannot arrive until I signify or I open the,
Okay. So this is what we're going to do about
that's
that.
not nothing crazy about me.
No.
It's real.
I understand that. This is what we're going to do about that, Ms. Garza. And this is another good reason for us to come back on the 11th. I'm going to have the state and your attorney, and I will look as well. We're going to look and see if there is some kind of documentation where you're to have no contact with those places. So that'll give us a chance.
That's not fair. You know why? Because they stole from me. They stole from me. You know, when you, I don't use lottos, but somehow it was a lucky day and I won like $400. I even made a report on it.
Okay.
You know.
All right. So about the lottery ticket, because I know people spend a lot of money on lottery tickets and then you don't win. And then when you
Well, I
win,
got
there are
a-
issues.
I got a coin that's a $30 coin.
Mhm.
And then I got $1 that's a motion $100 bill.
Okay. All right. So we're going to look into all of that for you, but I'm going to have the deputy take you back and you will be back in this court no later than April 11th. Okay.
Okay, so what I'm asking, the question that I'm asking is, am I gonna be able to get out today?
No, not today.
Why is that? Is there
Because I
any way
need you
can
to
set me
see-
a bond?
I need you to see a doctor first and I'm going to
Well,
expedite
I
that.
see, I have my specialist outside of,
Well,
on cams.
what is your specialist name on the outside?
What's his name? Brucebeck.
Gruspeth, how do you
Yes.
spell that last name?
What's that? GURB. Something, I gotta pronounce it.
Okay, pronounce it for me again.
Okay, GUR BURGE.
All right, so what we'll do is the doctor that is going
And
to,
my spelling is always the best spelling, you know,
Yeah.
because it picks up, if you pick up on the computer who I am
Mhm.
and the way I spell my words, there's like a lot of geographic to it, technology to it.
okay. All right, so
And
Ms.
that's who
Okay.
I can't use these words, the words that y'all use here, and
No, that's okay, because I like for everybody to
we're
understand.
all on camera right
Yeah.
now.
So,
just so you know.
Ms. Garza, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to have the deputy take you back so that we can look into all of this. But thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it, okay? All right, thank you so much.
Thank
And then Judge, if I may, I've got Tremonte Singleton, Judge. I believe we've worked out a deal. Is that something we can come back tomorrow or Monday?
If you can have them pull the file, have you done the paperwork?
No.
All right, do the paperwork.
State's
and we'll-
doing the.
How about she's gonna see the doctor first? See the doctor. Yeah. I think with my- No, that's fine. So just- yes, no, okay. Thank you so much.
Brandon Morris, the attorney for Benicia Davis. Thank you.
Sorry.
Oh, no problem. Court is calling 2023. Oh, she has two cases.
That's correct.
All right. Court is calling 2023 CR 4028W and 2023 CR 0943, State of Texas versus Benicia Davis. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Rolando Ruiz for the defense.
And are you Miss Davis?
Yeah.
Counsel, in each of the cause numbers, have you received all the discovery and that you review those with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
And each cause number, the court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Is she applying for deferred adjudication in each cause or no?
We're applying for deferred adjudication in the assault against a peace officer. The other one's a reduction to a class B misdemeanor straight probation.
All right. And each cause number, I'm showing you what's entitled applications for deferred adjudication and community supervision. Did you review those documents with your attorney?
Yeah,
And did you understand them?
Yeah.
And did you sign them?
yes,
And cause number 2023 CR 4028W, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver of indictment, reading of information and rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it?
yes, I did, Your Honor.
All right. Did you understand you have a right to have a grand jury hear the evidence in this case and make a decision on whether or not to indict?
Yes,
Did you understand your attorney has certain rights, namely 2 days from the presentation of the information to prepare and 10 days from the presentation of the information to prepare for trial? Did you understand?
yes,
Okay. And I'm sorry, it's 2 days from the time he receives the information. Did you understand he has 2 days once he receives the information?
yes,
And did you understand he has 10 days to prepare for jury trial?
yes,
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
yes,
And did you intend to give up pleas in this case and waive those rights?
yes,
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived indictment, reading of information and rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Counsel, can you tell me that cause number? How is she intending to plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
All right, and that cause, and I'm going to show you what's entitled information. Did you review this with your attorney? Did you understand it?
yes, I did.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the information?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the information as presented?
No, Your Honor. This is proceeding on the lesser included offense of DWI Class B misdemeanor.
Any objection?
No objections, Your Honor.
And then, and cause number 2023 CR 0943, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes,
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented
Yes, ma'am.
on both counts?
Yes.
And each of the cause numbers, I'm going to show you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them?
yes,
All right. Did you understand for a DWI as a Class B misdemeanor, the range of punishment is up to 180 days in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine? The range of punishment in count 1 and count 2 for assault on a public servant is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
yes,
In either case, if you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial in each case, the right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
yes,
Did you understand by entering into these pleas, you were giving up those rights?
yes,
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into plea bargain agreements in each case?
yes,
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 0943, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could sentence you in each count up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
yes,
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
She has, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
She does, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Davis, in either of these cause numbers, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
no,
Has anyone promised you anything other than the pleas?
no,
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
yes,
Are you a U.S. citizen?
yes,
In each of the cause numbers, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. In each of the cause numbers, I'm showing the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, I did.
And cause number 2023 CR 0943, according to the plea bargain agreement, state recommends deferred adjudication. This will run concurrent with 2023 CR 4028W. There's to be no contact with Jennifer Rodriguez and Ryan Stringfellow. And the other cause number, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of DWI as a Class B misdemeanor. Punishment is to be assessed at 180 days in the Bexar County Jail, $1,000 fine. State recommends community supervision. This will run concurrent with 2023 CR 0943. Did you understand that to be the pleas in each of the cause numbers?
Yes.
Defense,
Yes, Your Honor.
state,
Yes, Your Honor.
and each cause number, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in both places?
I did, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting in 2023 CR 0943 that your deferred adjudication before a term of 3 years. There be a TAP evaluation and community service hours. In the other cause number, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, community service hours, the DWI intervention, ignition interlock half the term, and parenting classes in VIP live. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes.
Then in cause number 2023 CR 0943, how do you plead to count one? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Count two, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
And cause number 2023 CR 4028W, how do you plead to the lesser included offense of DWI as a Class B misdemeanor? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence to support the defendant's guilty plea in either cause number.
The state office takes exhibit one and attachments in both cause numbers.
And no objections, Your Honor, for
All right.
purposes of the plea.
All right, states you may continue to confer. In each cause number, I'm showing you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, in each cause number, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call them the right to remain silent?
Yes.
In each of the cause numbers, did you understand by entering these plea bargain agreements, the state would be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses, statements, and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes.
In each cause number, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
Yes.
All right, in each cause number, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. In cause number 2023 CR 4028W, the court will find you guilty. In cause number 2023 CR 0943, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. Right now, we are asking the court to waive the ignition interlock in the cause. My client is currently 4 months pregnant. At the time, he'll be requesting the court to, instead of the ignition interlock, maybe doing weekly random UAs and see if she does come out positive for anything, which I doubt she will due to her being pregnant, then we do ignition interlock for the full term after that, if that were to happen in this case, just to alleviate some of the financial burden on her.
I'll ask that the fees on the ignition interlock be waived, but
Okay, then that would help.
all right.
Yes.
Because the issue I have, and the reason why I'm doing that, Ms. Davis, here's my issue. You were at Bentley's Bar, March 2022, got into some altercation with some females in the club. I don't know what happened at the bar. And so I'm assuming that involved alcohol. I don't think everybody was sober when they're getting into an altercation. Then we turn around and January 1st, 2023, she's driving intoxicated. I don't know why for New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, people leave their home. Our family tradition, Bashan, it's like you stay in the house because you're trying to make it to see the next year. But all these people, I don't know why people do that.
I understand you.
And I know that people think the dropping of the ball in New York is a great thing. But I remember my first time as a child being able to see that, and we had to beg to stay up to see it. And I was like, is this all? I mean, I thought maybe it was going to drop and there's going to be fireworks or something, but it just dropped and flashed a year. I'm like, okay. So that's the last time I've seen that. Maybe I need to see it in person. It would be better. How many children do you have?
I have 3,
What are their ages?
11, 7, and 6.
Who are you living with?
Well, probably my mom right now.
Okay, why are your arms crossed?
I don't know.
All right, are you employed?
No,
So how are you supporting this 11, 7, 6-year-old, and now you have a baby on the way?
my baby daddy,
Could we please say the father of our children?
my father, and my children.
All right, I remember there's a song out. What's the name of that song? That's Just My Baby Daddy. Oh my gosh, that song was so irritating. I always think that when you give people titles and those titles are like, oh, that's just my baby daddy, then you're just talking about he's a donor. He's not a father. He's just a donor. You know, that's just my baby mama. Okay, she's just an incubator. I mean, could we start using appropriate terms now? If they're just going to be donors, then say he's just a donor. But if he's doing more and being an actual father, then that's something different. So the child that you're carrying, is that the same father for all the 11, 7, 6-year-old?
For the 7 and 6.
All right. And are these girls, boys?
2 boys and 1 girl. The 11-year-old is a girl.
And if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Negative.
All right, we're going to do a drug test today. How long is that going to take?
Yes.
Are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
All right, so we'll do a drug test and I'll come back and make my ruling on sentencing.
Okay, let me just
All right,
take a
thanks.
seat. Thank you, Judge.
Yes. Oh, no. Okay. Okay. All right, thank you.
All right, let's get your attorney.
Yes, Judge, we are.
All right, so these are the people versus J.C. Owens. Can I get your appearance?
Yes, thank you, Judge. Andrew Mickus on behalf of Ms. Owens, P 76268. Ms. Owens would waive any objections to appearing via video today as well, Your Honor.
All right, did you speak with Mr. Zick this morning?
I did, yes, Your Honor. I think we've reached a mutually agreeable resolution to the matter. Ms. Owens is going to be entering a plea of guilty to one of the matters, and the court will be dismissing, and Mr. Zick will be dismissing the other matter. We didn't get specifics as to case numbers, but they are essentially identical. She would agree to any restitution amount. He did not have a figure before him. I estimate that that figure is going to be 0 because I believe all of the items were recovered in both cases at the time of the arrest. So I do anticipate that. But in the chance that I'm wrong and there is restitution, she is able to pay that today. Should that be
All right.
determined.
Well, if there's no, I've got the 430 case and the 131 case, so I'm inclined to take the plea on the older case.
Okay.
And it looks like everything was, on both of them, I agree. It appears that everything, that there shouldn't be restitution, at least not that I'm aware of.
Sure. Same here.
So, can I voir dire your client on her constitutional rights?
Absolutely, Judge. Go right ahead.
Okay. Ma'am, did you talk to your attorney about your constitutional rights before you came out here?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Miss Owens, you understand that you have a constitutional right to a trial if you wanted one?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and at that trial, you would have the right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial. And you could get a subpoena signed by me to ensure that those witnesses appeared at court. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand you have a right to see, hear, and question all the witnesses against you at trial?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a right. You have a right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent. And if you remain silent, the prosecutor could not use your silence against you. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you also have a right to be presumed innocent until you're proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And ma'am, you understand that if you enter a plea of guilty and accept this plea deal, that you'll be waiving those trial rights. There will be no trial of any kind.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand that larceny is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a fine of $500 or 3 times the value of the property.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that if you're on probation or parole and you enter a plea of guilty, it could be a violation of those conditions.
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced you to get you to enter into a plea agreement?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Has anyone promised you anything other than the offer that's been put on the record?
No, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Zick, I see you're back on this. Is there a preference for the people on which matter she should plea on?
No
I'm just gonna
preference.
plead. Okay, all right. So ma'am, back on, how do you plead to the charge of larceny?
Guilty.
Were you in the city of Taylor on January 31st of 2023?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you were in the city, did you go to Walmart?
I did, Your Honor.
And when you were at Walmart, ma'am, did you take some merchandise that wasn't yours?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Your Honor, I think she's stalling just because there was an attempt to do so, but because she didn't leave with the items. I did discuss with her the legal nuances between those and that there really isn't one. So, JC, do you understand the question? She's asking if you attempted to take any
Yeah.
items for sale.
Attempted, yeah.
All right.
Well, we figured it out.
Where was she stopped? Parking lot or as she was exiting the building?
Before exiting the building.
Or as you walking out of the building, Miss Owens?
I was going towards the door.
I think
was
she had
moving near
just
the-
left the self-checkout area and was heading towards the door when
Yeah.
store security stopped her and
And were
initiated.
there items that you didn't pay for when you went through self-checkout?
I mean, I don't know how to answer that. Honestly, Your Honor, I left the cart. I walked away from it. I don't know how to. And then the other one was, I think.
Hang on, JC.
Wait, so Miss Owens, did you put property in your cart or in a bag that you didn't intend on paying for?
I mean, no, but
All right,
Yes,
I can't
ma'am.
accept the plea, then we'll get a jury trial date.
Your Honor, I'm guilty.
Your Honor,
No,
if I.
you're not guilty. Miss Owens, you've been through
I
this
just-
before. You've got
Yeah,
a ton of
I'm-
larceny convictions, right?
I'm
This isn't your
confused
first
on
rodeo.
which-
And ma'am, you're not required to enter a plea of guilty. But if you think
No.
you're gonna sit here, I'm talking. If you think you're gonna sit here and tell me that you didn't do anything wrong and think I'm gonna accept your plea, you're sadly mistaken. I'm happy to have a
I'm
jury
confused.
trial. I like nothing more than a
I'm-
jury trial. You either want to accept a plea or you don't, and you're either going to be honest to this court and accept responsibility or you're not. It's that simple. And if you cannot lay a factual basis for what you did that makes you guilty of this charge, I will see you on your trial date. Are we clear, Miss Owens?
Yes, Your Honor.
So what do you think you did, Miss Owens, that makes you guilty of larceny?
Your Honor, the first offense, I didn't scan an item, and honestly, it wasn't to steal the item. I tried to pay for the item.
All
But
right,
it
so
doesn't,
that's a not guilty plea. So, okay, we're gonna just go ahead and set these both for
but the
jury
second
trial.
one, I did intend to. So, I mean, yes, I'm guilty on the second. Yes.
You accidentally didn't scan
No.
$250 worth of items?
No, I didn't say accidentally. There was a computer or something
No,
wrong
on
with
the
that
first
scanner.
case, the allegation is that you stole 8 items worth $250. And you're telling me that was an accident?
Your Honor, I'm guilty.
We're going to jury trial.
Your Honor,
I'll
if
set a
I,
jury trial date and we'll see you on that date.
There was
Your
a-
Honor, if I may have an opportunity to briefly in a breakout room with my
No,
client.
I've had enough of your client, quite frankly, and the games
Ma'am.
she likes to play. She's lucky I
This
didn't
isn't
revoke
a
her
game.
bond the first time, and now she
Ma'am.
wants to play with whether or not she's responsible of this or not. And no, I'm not
not.
comfortable taking a plea. She's made it clear she didn't do anything. We're all set. You'll get your
I
jury trial
didn't say
date in the
that.
mail. We're all
I
set,
did not
ma'am.
say
I'll
that.
see you on your jury trial date. Thank you.
Ma'am, please.
You'll get notice in the mail.
I didn't.
20 minutes later, 6 hours.
All right, we're back on the record. This is the People versus J.C. Owens.
Yes, thank you again, Judge Andrew Mickus, P76268 on behalf of Ms. Owens.
Miss Owens, tell me your name.
J.C. Owens.
Miss Owens, did we go over your constitutional rights a minute ago? Do you remember those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand if you enter a plea guilty that you're waiving the trial rights that I read to you that are listed on that advice of rights form?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand if you're on probation or parole that it could be a violation?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand larceny is still a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days and a fine of up to $500?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing all of that, how do you plead the larceny?
I plead guilty, Your Honor.
Back on January 31st of 2023, Miss Owens, were you in the city of Taylor?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you go to Walmart?
Yes, Your Honor.
I want you to tell me what you did that makes you guilty of larceny.
I intended to steal items, Your Honor, without paying for them.
What items?
I think, I honestly, I don't remember what items exactly, Your Honor. I think they were just normal, like condoms and stuff.
Toiletries or-
Toiletries, yeah.
All right. Did you take them with the intent to deprive that Walmart of their property?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you take those items and put them in a bag without scanning them at self-checkout?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied, counsel?
I am satisfied, yes, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to accept the plea as knowing and voluntarily given. The case ending in 230962. That case will be dismissed per the plea.
Thank you.
Yep, and you're going to be meet with the probation department for a pre-sentence investigation. You're going to get notice of that in the mail.
Okay.
And you're going to meet with them. And I'm sorry, Mr. Mikos.
No, go ahead, Judge. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think we need an evaluation. So you're going to meet with the probation department, Ms. Owens, and they're going to contact you for a pre-sentence interview. After that interview, we'll meet again for sentencing. Are you still on felony probation?
JC, are you still on probation with Judge Matthews? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm assuming a lot of things will likely run concurrent, but I want my probation department to at least look at it. And Mr. Mikos, I can't give you a sentencing date, because I don't know how backed up they are on their PSIs.
I understand.
So,
Would it,
so it'll be a Wednesday and we'll get it out to you in the mail as soon as they meet with her.
okay, we're probably talking a few weeks out.
At least, I think generally 3 to 4.
Okay.
And bond conditions will just continue until that time.
Sounds good. Thank you, Judge, and thank you for your patience today.
All right, I'll see everyone at sentencing. We're all set.
Thank you, Judge.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, this is.
Here tomorrow before 9 o'clock, just to sign in with the, on this floor outside. No, he does. You don't have to do nothing. Yeah, I'm not requiring you to do a thing except for ride her, which I've got a feeling you're gonna do anyway. This is Mr. Thomas.
State your name, sir.
And then, John
14.
Doe. Book him in as everything. Oh, Mr. Kramer, how you doing? I know. Yes, sir. Garrison? Okay. Mr. Kramer, you're fully court charged of battery on a law enforcement officer and resisting officer without violence. Can you understand those charges? This isn't going to go well for you. All right. Boogie board on over. Bond set at $15,000 on the battery on law enforcement officer, $5,000 resisting. Court date's going to be July the 17th at 9 o'clock with pretrial release.
All right, you can step to your right for your copies. Next. I'm gonna have to translate loudly for him. Say your name.
You know what?
Say your name. Yes, I told it. Your name.
My name, Mr. Thomas.
Mr. Thomas, you're fully court charged of lewd and lascivious exhibition. You understand that charge?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey. I'm talking about a serious charge. It ain't no joke.
No, you're right.
And tell him I'm not a transit either.
Yeah, he's not.
Okay. I understand he's been given copies of paperwork and advised of his rights. Is that true?
Now.
Were you? Of your rights.
I got to get.
Rights.
You gave me the shooter. I read it, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Based on his application, finally he does qualify. I'm going to go ahead and appoint public defender.
But they know it's just a serious charge that I'm charged with, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
serious charge. All right.
And
Criminal history?
It goes back to 2002 locally. The last charge was a tamper with evidence and 21 unarmed burglary and 20. Mostly drug, petty thefts.
Bond set at $50,000. No contact with the alleged victim or anyone under the age of 18. Court date's going to be July the 17th at 9 o'clock. Is that right? July 17th? July 13th at 9 o'clock. I apologize. What I get for trying to go fast.
2,000.
I really only mess up when I go
What?
slow.
Yeah.
You said it was a serious charge. I'm agreeing with you.
Is there any way y'all can get, I can't get through on the phone. It's saying my PIN number not
See
working.
Bird.
Bird.
Yep.
In the morning,
He down there.
I be able to see him when I get there?
Mhm.
Okay.
Go over there.
What am I signing?
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
copy. Next.
Roger on Reddit.
This is Mr.
Say your name,
Holland.
sir.
Sir, you're fully court charged of petty theft as a third subsequent offense and possession of paraphernalia. You understand those charges, sir? I understand you.